And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New Earth TV Live. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good to see people from all over the world tuning in to this episode. So we're going to have quite a bit of exciting information that's going to be shared today in New Earth TV Live. We're also going to be doing, since it's Earth Day, we are going to be doing an Earth meditation. So we're going to be doing that very, very shortly. First and foremost, we're going to go ahead and get started with some announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And private sessions are available 15, 30, and 45-minute sessions. You can find them on newearthteachings.com. The same with the 3-question email sessions are done offline also, and they are available too. And I am booked up until July right now, so just letting you guys know ahead of time if you do book. There's a wait list up until July. But again, feel free to check it out. And again, if you do not want to wait till July, you can be part of New Earth Teachings Patreon. Patreon.com/newearthteachings. Monthly membership is $25. You can access all Patreon content, which includes archived webinars back when I was channeling Adronis, digital courses that are also downloadable that you can get from Patreon as well too, included with your membership, plus a bi-weekly group Q&A session. So our next one is actually this coming Wednesday, and you can check that out. So again, you can go to patreon.com/newearthteachings. And of course, as I've said, there's a healing tour that I'm looking to create here between July 15th and July 30th. This week I'm going to start getting on the ball to see if I can connect with some places to get some spaces ready for the healing tour coming in July. So it will be in British Columbia, on Vancouver Island, on the lower mainland of BC and of Alberta. But of course, there are also some other events taking place as well too that are in BC. So if you were in the BC area, you can check it out. Meetup.com/newearthteachings events groups. And again, as the restrictions start to drop, then I certainly will be intending to connect within the United States once that time presents itself. So again, check that out. Meetup.com/newearthteachings events group, I should say. And of course, this channel is backed up. New Earth Teachings backup channel is on Odyssey, odyssey.com/@newearthteachings. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Earth meditation first and foremost. So let me just go ahead here and switch the screen. There we go. All right, perfect. So just get yourselves nice and relaxed as we're going to do this deep mass earth meditation now. So just making sure both of your feet are placed upon the ground, hands upon the lap if you want, or you can place them up here on the chest, whichever you prefer. And we'll go ahead now and close our eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And just relaxing yourself and breathing normally. And what I want you to do right now is wherever you are, make sure you just have like a seat if you're seated in a chair, or if you're laying on a couch. If you're laying on a couch, I would suggest just being able to sit up right now, okay? What I would like you to do right now is if you're wearing any shoes, if you have the means, try and take the shoes off, okay? So even if you're just in your front room, right? You're on your floor, that's fine as well too, right? Just make sure your shoes are off. You can also alternatively take your socks off if you want to. Now, If you have the capability, I would suggest going outside. Okay? If it's a nice day, if it's clement weather, and you have like a backyard, right? You can go ahead, take off your shoes, take off your socks, and just stand on the grass. Or again, take a moment just to stand on the grass. And then you can find a seat, right? So maybe sitting cross-legged on the grass would be good, right? That's just for those of you who, of course, are in that space. Otherwise, like I said, even if you just remove your shoes and you're just taking your feet and you're just keeping them on the floor, this is important, okay? So what we're doing now is we're just going to imagine that we have two roots coming out of both feet, okay? So basically one root per foot. So left foot, right foot, we're feeling these roots coming out, and they're now starting to move deeper and deeper into the earth. Just imagining etheric black roots that are coming out through both feet, and they're now just rooting themselves deeper and deeper into the earth. Going deeper past your crust, past the mantle, and going deeper and deeper, connecting right to the core of Mother Earth herself. I want you just to feel yourself completely rooted, okay? The important thing to do with that is making sure your spine is nice and straight. You're not slouched, okay? Your spine is nice and straight. Your feet are firmly planted upon the ground, okay? And you're just feeling those roots burrowing themselves all the way into the core of the earth. And I want you just to feel that connection. Feel that bond between the earth and yourself right now. And now I just want you to take both of your hands, placing them on your heart. And now again, we're going to see the heart turning transparent. And we're going to see that spirit light star contained in the center of the heart. And with that spirit light star in the center of the heart, we're just going to take some deep breaths in and deep breaths out. We're going to make that light bigger and bigger and brighter, but just inside the heart, right? Just looking at the heart container. And we're just making that light brighter and bigger just inside the confines of the heart. So take a deep breath in, making that light brighter. Deep breath out through the nose, making it bigger. Inhale, making it brighter. Exhale, making it bigger. And just continue to repeat this until that white spirit light fills the entire space of the heart. And as that light is now inside the heart, I want you just to imagine like you're drawing a line. Okay, so you're just drawing a line from your heart, and this is just a special channel that you are drawing right down to the area of the perineum, right, the area in between the genitals, and now that line is going to split in two. It's going to split in two as it's going to go down both legs, and we're just seeing that line being drawn down all the way down to the bottom of the feet. So again, we draw a line, just going all the way down to the perineum in between the genitals, and then we see that line split in two, going down the left and the right leg, and we're drawing that line all the way down to the bottom of the feet to where the roots are going deeply into the earth. Okay? So now that we have drawn that line that splits in two, with our hands upon our heart here, we'll take another deep breath, and as you inhale, you're gathering the energy. As you exhale, you're going to see that energy flow down that line that you have drawn. Okay, so inhale. Exhale. Feel that flowing spirit light going down the line that you have drawn, seeing it split in two, down the two channels, and going right into the roots at the bottom of the feet. And now you're feeling that love energy going through the roots, the bottom of the feet, and all of that pure love energy now is just flowing down into the earth. So the roots that are completely connected to the core of the earth, we're feeling that white spirit light directly from our heart, flowing through these roots and going directly into the earth, going directly into her core. I want you now just to take a minute, just to have this personal bondage time with the earth. I want you to really, genuinely, sincerely feel that love in your heart, all that true love that you are giving. I want you just to flow it through the roots, let it be delivered right into the core of Mother Earth. This is all we're doing. We're just giving our love to Mother Earth on this Earth Day. So again, just continue to breathe in through the nose. Right? You're brightening up your love. And as you exhale through the nose, you're sending that love. So it's like a continual current of flowing energy that's going down that channel that you have drawn, connected directly to the roots that are again connected to the core of the earth. And you're just seeing that flow of love energy flowing through the roots, going directly to the heart, going directly to the core of Mother Earth. So let's just take a minute of silence now as we send this love to Mother Earth. And taking a deep breath in and out to the nose. And now the next thing that I want you to do, again, is we're just still keeping everything together, right? Our feet are still completely connected to the earth, right? What I want you to do right now is I want you just to feel your heart as if it is the heart of Mother Earth. So if we're envisioning now Mother Earth's core, Mother Earth's heart, I want you to imagine that what represents her heart is your heart now in your chest. I want you just to feel that heart, Mother Earth's heart, as if it is inside your own heart right now. I want you to feel it. Okay, you may start to feel tingles. You may start to feel warm. You may feel, again, little tingling sensations around the body. You may start to feel little flutters around the heart as well, too. These are all just beautiful sensations. We may start to feel something at the crown of the head. We might have to feel, again, just light tingles just all across the body. Okay, we may even get a vision. We may feel light flowing through our inner vision as well, too. That's fine. These are all sensations of love that the Mother Earth is feeling from you. So I want you just to be aware of that. I want you just to feel that love. And if you wish, you can stay here for as long as you wish. You can stay in this meditation for as long as you want, even after I conclude with it, if you desire. I want you just to feel that deep love for Mother Earth, seeing her heart as your heart, and all the love that you are continuing to send her, and all of her unconditional love that she has for you, being such a dear, sweet child for her, sending her this pure love, particularly on this special day that we human beings have created, called Earth Day. This is not about electricity. This is not about the idea of going green. None of that stuff. This is about the idea where you are choosing this day to bring a saturation of love more than any other day. Make it a day that has the maximum that you can provide pertaining to love energy. And just let that energy flow into the earth. And let yourself feel her heart as yours. And when you are ready, you can now feel those roots now starting to return back up into the feet. So they're retracting themselves back into the feet. We're seeing that line that we drew now starting to retract itself, going back up the legs, going back up the perineum, and moving back into the heart. We're seeing the spirit light star now starting to converge and retract that loving energy, returning it back into the splendidness of the spirit light star. Seeing the spirit light star just as that little shiny white dot in the center of our heart. And now we're closing the heart, returning it back into normal. And take one last full deep breath in and out. All right, very good. And you can return and come back into the present moment. And like I said, if you want to just stay there and just continue to bring your love to earth, by all means, feel free to do so. Okay? Absolutely. So, love and blessings to everybody here on this special Earth Day. I mean, really, every day, of course, is Earth Day. But like I said, just mark this occasion as something that you're giving the Earth something very special, like it's her birthday in that way, right? You want to give the Earth a very special present, and there is nothing that the Earth would love more than feeling the depth and purity of your own love, right? That's the most beautiful gift a mother could ever want. Okay, so we'll go ahead and come back now. Thank you, everybody, for joining me with that Earth Mass meditation. I appreciate it. And just taking a look at the chat. Got a lot of hearts here, right? Someone says, couldn't stop crying. Good. Kara says, going to have to do this over without one of my cats demanding attention on my desk, pulling my hands towards her. She wants snuggles as well, too. Well, she knows you're in a loving mood, so there you go. Very good, guys. Thank you very much for joining me with that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some inner practices, okay? And then I'm going to go into the topic about the Crown Center, because I'm going to basically just share an experience that I had on Easter Sunday with you guys. And then we're going to go into a group healing. Okay, we're going to do a group healing today. Then we're going to go into Q&A. Okay? So, inner practice. What is the inner practice for today? Well, it's quite a simple one. It's something I'm sure you guys have pretty much heard so much, particularly through the metaphysical and spiritual communities and so forth. And really what that is I just refer to it as the power of the presence. Power of the present moment. Okay? Or Brad, that feels real simple. It is very simple, but unfortunately, not a lot of us do it, right? We're present for maybe about 5 seconds, and then our attention goes elsewhere. I have to do this. I have to take care of this matter. I got to go ahead and tend to this today, etc. We get divided. What I'm talking about here, because this is actually going to be a standalone video that I'm going to do here in the next little while, is about the power of your presence. The power of the present moment, okay? Now, Brad says, oh, come on, this is just being the now moment, because we've heard about this to death. We've had pretty much every spiritual teacher and expert talk about the now moment and how powerful the now moment is and blah, 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 blah. Does this really need to be done today? Yes. It's very important that we talk about this today, because I'm teaching you guys how to do it all the time. To be present all the time. Because the reason why you feel that you are flogged down, why you're feeling like you're scattered, while you're feeling that you're upset and you're angry and you're sad and you're fearful about everything, it's because this keeps moving like gears, right? And I'm one to talk myself because I've been busy with so much work, right? Doing sessions, fulfilling the healing code card orders, right? Running around, doing events and so forth, right? I was a busybody as well too. And it wasn't until just a couple of days ago where I was able to fully experience through the whole day the present moment. And that shifts your entire perspective of life. Okay? Like I said, it sounds simple. It's something that people have talked about for so long, but that's the problem. We do too much of this, and we don't do enough of the work. People just like to paint lip service here, and that's not what we're doing here. So, we are working with the nature of being present. So just try that right now, guys. I want you we're not doing anything special, okay? I want you right now just to be fully and totally present as you're hearing me talk right now. I want you just to go ahead and just gauge yourself into attention and just be present here in this present moment. Be aware in this present moment. I want you to have thoughtless awareness right now, right here, in this present moment. Go ahead. Okay, so maybe just a few seconds have passed. How did that feel for people? Were you guys able to be completely present and thoughtless? Or was it kind of like, yeah, I was thoughtless for about 2 seconds, and then I think, oh, what should I make for dinner tonight? Or what about this work I have to do tonight? What about my A to Z laundry list I have to take care of tonight? That's what happens, right? We just basically say, okay, just go in the present moment right now. If I give you 10 seconds of silence, can you guys stay silent for 10 seconds? Some of you may say, yeah, sure, no problem. Some of you say, yeah, maybe for 1.5 seconds. And then my gears start turning in, and then I'm having to go in all these different directions altogether. Well, okay, so this is basically for the people who really couldn't last very long, right? So those of you who are able to do like the full 10 seconds, where you were just presently, thoughtlessly aware, great, good stuff. You're well on your way. And you can adopt this too if you want, okay? But this is for the people in that sense who have the short attention span, right? I'm certainly one of them myself. Until I start doing the work with the present moment, the attention is now longer, right? It's our intention here to expand the attention span by being present, by having undivided attention and just being completely present here right now. Everything you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear, you are completely aware of. There's no cutting off. There's no interference. There's no white static, right? And then we go off into thoughts. And so I got to do this. I got to take care of that. I got to go ahead and make sure I do this thing. So here's a very simple practice that will help you to maintain yourself in the present moment. And it's so incredibly simple, right? I don't know. Maybe it might cause people just to go crazy because it's so simple. But nonetheless, it is a very simple practice. So all you're doing is you're keeping track of your breath. Inhale, exhale. Now, when you're keeping track of your breath, I want you to make your breath loud. It's like the Ujjayi Pranayama. Now, you can also do it through the nature of throat friction, okay? Throat friction is another type of breath. So if I was to do it with the mouth, okay, that's with the mouth. If I'm doing it with the nose, okay? And I want you to keep that up all day long. Don't stop, okay? So even if you're going for a walk, you're doing the breath. If you're sitting on the computer, okay? As you're doing that breath, this is your reminder to stay present, okay? So even when thoughts are coming up, it is the sound of that breath that cancels out all the thoughts. Now, what you can additionally do is if you notice that you get lost in thought, another thing you can do is rapidly blink. And that's basically just a reinforcement to bringing you back into the present moment, okay? You can either do it one way. You can rapidly blink, or you can do a long blink. And that too is just a reinforcement reminder to come back into your sound breath. Okay, your noisy breath. I'm not talking about going, not like that so the entire room hears you, okay? But I want you just to make a noise with your breath, okay? You want to know your breath. This comes from Sarah. Strange that I don't realize or know my breath. Well, now you will. Now you'll know your breath because that's the practice that we're doing, okay? So we're breathing in, breathing out. Very simple, guys, right? You're breathing all the time. Many of us are shallow breathers, and that's the problem. We don't recognize our breath. We don't realize our breath. We're just constantly type, right, drive. And we're not even noticing our breath because it's so shallow, right? And that's not going to help you. That's also not going to help your health. So when you are also, yeah, no snoring. When you are also doing this, right, you just want to make sure, like I said, you're not making a noise that's, fluttering the entire room, but you're just being aware that you have a breath, okay? This is your prana. This is your chi. This is your ki. This is your mana. This is your life force energy. So we're just being aware of the breath. Now, we're not done. Oh, brother, there's more. There's more. Okay? So it's not just enough to start following your breath. This is what's referred to as the conscious breath. This is the breath that's going to keep you present. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to do what's known as the conscious reminder, which is a simple affirmation. Okay? So we want to basically emphasize what we are breathing in. Right? So we are inhaling God. We are inhaling spirit. We are inhaling source. We are inhaling the divine. We are inhaling the light. We are inhaling the creator. We are inhaling the mother. We are inhaling the father. We are inhaling the spirit. We are inhaling the soul. Any of these are fine. Okay? What I use personally is I say quite commonly, inhale God, exhale God. So if I'm inhaling, inhale God. Exhaling, exhale God. Now, you may decide, okay, inhale the light. Exhale the light. Inhale the divine. Exhale the divine. Inhale mother. Exhale mother. Inhale higher self. Exhale higher self. Okay, that's fine. Instead of exhale, we can say breathe in. Or we can say divine in, divine out. Okay, whatever you want to use, it's all the same thing. Doesn't matter what you call it. Source, spirit, God, creator, the one, whatever it may be. It's all the same. Okay? And all we're doing is we're just saying that in our mind as we inhale, right? So inhale God, exhale God. Inhale God, exhale God. Or breathe in God, breathe out God. Breathe in God, breathe out God. Okay? So all we're doing is we're making our breath noticeable to ourselves, and that breath is our anchor to staying in the present moment. Okay? So what we are doing is we are dissolving the intellectual monkey mind that doesn't know when to shut up. Okay? We have to basically get it to shut up. And that's what we're doing, is we're just working with conscious breathing and the conscious reminder, and we can even use the conscious reinforcement with rapid blinking or a long blink. That's helping us if we're just getting lost in our mind, the clouds of thought are coming back once again, and we're getting in there, but for a moment we catch ourselves. Inhale God, exhale God, right? So that rapid blinking or that long blink is your reinforcement just to help bring you back into the present moment. Okay? What's also very, very good as you're in the present moment is I want you to explore. I want you to look at your world yourself. I want you to turn the TV off. I want you to turn your internet off, turn your phone off, turn your tablet off, turn your computer off, and go out. Go for a drive. Go for a walk in the park. Go on the beach. Right? If it's raining out, just go for a nice rainy drive. Okay? If it's snowing out, go for a nice snowy drive. Whatever is happening in your area of the world. Okay? You're just allowing yourself to explore. Now here's the next step. Okay? This is why I say this is not just the idea of being present. I'm giving you guys a couple of exercises here. I want you to look at everything that you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear as gods. Everything you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear as spirit, as the divine, as the mother, as the father, as the source. Okay? Right now, I'm talking on God's microphone. Right now, I'm looking at God's screen. Right now, I'm on God's YouTube. Right now, I'm wearing God's blue shirt. Right now, I'm holding up God's glass with God's water inside it. I have God's lamp shining light here upon myself. I want to check my bank account. Okay, well, it's God's bank account. And now I'm looking at God's finances, and now I see I have $2,000.35 of God's money. Okay? That's another thing that you're doing, because this also keeps you present. This is helping you to understand that I am God. I am the source. I am the all-pervasive infinite consciousness. This is my nature. This is who I am. And I am here in a body, but I am not the body. I have a mind, but I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the all-pervading, infinite, pure consciousness. And that is what we are doing here. This is the reminder that when you are present, you are living as that. You have a body, but you're not a body. You have a mind, but you're not the mind. The body is an object. The mind is an object. This is an object. This is an object. Okay? So we're getting out of objectivity. We're getting out of objectiveness. We're getting out of the idea of images. All we're doing is we're being present with our space. By being aware of our breath, in and out, by again working with that conscious reinforcement. Like I said, if we tune out, we're blinking ourselves back, okay? But we're also working together with that conscious breath, and we're working together with that conscious reminder, okay? Inhale God, exhale God. Inhale God, exhale God. And we just continue to do this. We go out and we explore. Even if it's only for a few minutes, for half an hour, for an hour. We're just going out and we're exploring our world. We're not just sitting at our desk, right, inside a cube, and just sitting here and wasting the opportunity to be fully present with the world, right? Being on your phone is not being present with the world. Being on your computer all day is not being present with the world. Watching TV all day is not being present with the world. Those are programs. We want to turn them off. Okay? We want to give ourselves some time. Whether, like I said, it's a few minutes, a half hour, an hour, a couple of hours, etc. But what I'd like you to do is try this and be present the whole day. When you are present the whole day, you will see this world in such a different light. You will not care about the events that are taking place on the planet, because you will see that as all part of God. Because what are we doing? This is God's glass. This is God's water. I'm driving in God's car. I'm driving down God's road. I'm on God's highway. I'm seeing all these other children of God driving in God's vehicles. And I'm seeing God's traffic light. And I see God's fire hydrant. And I see God's dog children. I see God's cat children. I see God's bird children. And I see God's insect children. Everything God, God, God. Spirit, Spirit, Spirit. Source, Source, Source. And when we see that, you will be at such a peace with yourself, you're no longer in worry. Because you can't worry in the present moment. You can't be sad in the present moment. You can't be fearful in the present moment, because that all relates to thought. That all relates to emotions, right? Emotions and thoughts are all intertangled together. That's a product of the mind. You're just going above the mind right now, and you're staying present. And all I'm looking at is just being aware of my breath, is working with that conscious reminder, and using that conscious reinforcement when I notice that I blip out, that I space out and I go back into thoughts, right? I catch myself, I do rapid blinking, I do a long blink, and I come back. And all I'm doing is following my breath. All I'm doing is reminding myself I'm breathing in God, I'm breathing out God. So I'd like you guys to try this. Okay? This is what I've been doing for the past couple of days, right? Particularly when I had the day off yesterday, because I wasn't doing New Earth Insights yesterday. And I was doing this work. I was also doing some other things as well, too, that I will be talking about in time. But like I said, I never teach you guys things that I do not experience myself. And I'm currently in the process of experiencing this new thing. And once I feel like I'm comfortable and being able to get the full experience of this new thing, this will be something that will be taught to you guys. But I do not teach you guys things that I do not experience. Okay? So this is a very simple practice. I know it's all about the now moment. It's all about the present moment. But now you have a way and say, okay, we talk about the now moment to death like it's a catchphrase. Now I want you to actually do it. Now I want you to do it for the entire day. Right? Don't be hard on yourself if you drift off into thoughts. Just catch yourself. Okay? I'm catching myself. I'm coming back. I'm following the breath. Okay? Even if we're talking to people, we're still just following the breath. We may not decide to do the conscious reminder, right? Maybe our friend is standing right here talking to us. I'm still just keeping track of my breath. So I'm keeping track of my breath and I'm listening to my friend talking, and I'm still very much aware of everything that's around me. Inside me is quietness, is silence. But outside, there may be some noise. There may be some noise, there may be lots of sounds blasting all over the place, and that's okay. It does not shatter my inner silence. All right? So, give this a try. This is the power of presence. And again, I will be doing a video on this not too long in the future here. Okay, it should be coming out here in the next little while. Very, very powerful technique, keeping you centered. And like I said, this is going to help you to see an entire world that has been with you all the time that you didn't realize, because now you're finally snapping out of your hypnotic trance. All right? Okay, next thing. We're going to go ahead now and do a group healing. Okay? So group distance healing through the healing power. So what I want you to do right now is, again, just keeping your spine nice and erect. Okay, you can place your hands upon the center of your chest if you want, or you can keep them on your lap. But I want you just to do a quick scan of yourself. All right, so with your eyes closed, I want you to start off this time at the feet down. Okay, at the bottom of the feet, and just imagining like there's this beam that's just slowly starting to work its way up, past the feet, past the ankles, up past the shin, up past the knees, going up to the waist, moving up the abdomen, moving up the chest, okay, up the neck, up to the top of the head, and you're just giving yourself a quick scan. Okay, is there anything that I want to release? Anything that I want to clear away? Okay, that's what you can keep in mind. Now, if you do want to contribute this to another person because you know what they're going through, just intend that, okay, as we do the healing power together as a group. All right, so I'll just take a moment here and we'll begin. So with your hands now, just go ahead and place your hands right now in prayer posture after you've done that scan. Okay, and again, we're just going to open up the heart, seeing the heart turn transparent. We're going to see the spirit light star just as we did in the meditation. Okay, this time we're intending through our thought to take the spirit light star and move it in between the palms. Okay, as it's moved in between the palms, we'll take a deep breath in, making that light brighter. Exhale, making that light bigger as we extend the hands. So inhale, making it brighter and brighter. Exhale, making it bigger and bigger. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so just expanding that light as far and wide as you can make your hands go. Okay, and then just dropping your hands on the lap, knowing that this light represents your love, your love, your trust, and your faith. Okay, and you're just connecting with that light right now. I want you just to be aware completely of the light that you have expanded. It's the size of the cosmos right now. Okay, just tune into that light. Remember, work with your present breath. Okay, and just tune into that light. And we will now begin the healing power process. And while this is beginning right now, you can repeat after me the following affirmation. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Love and blessings and appreciation to all the children of God who are tuning into this right now. Love and blessings eternally, infinitely to you. You are radiant, you are pure, you are perfection. And now I want you just to take all of that light that you have expanded out previously, and now we're just retracting it back. We're retracting it back now slowly, and we're saying again, God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all of that light back into the heart, seeing it being retracted back into the spirit light star, now in the center of the heart. Now we're going to see that heart return back to normal. And deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. Very good, guys. Thank you for participating with me with that. So the last part, I'm just going to talk briefly on the topic of the crown center, and then we're going to go into Q&A. Okay, so if you guys want to get your questions ready, you can get your questions ready. But I'm just going to start off with this final topic about the crown center. Now, back in June of 2018, I was actually able to have a Kundalini awakening. It was something that actually lasted 2 nights long. I actually documented this back in one of my old videos back in 2018. And basically, like I said, it took 2 nights. When the first night I was doing it, I was basically being guided by the entity who goes by the name of Ramtha. Okay, some of you may be familiar with this being, some of you may not. That's okay. You can Google Ramtha if you want. It's Ramtha, right? He's often channeled quite commonly through Jay-Z Knight. But he actually just came to me one night, and I was feeling his presence, and he was just basically telling me, Brad, just see your chakra centers as doors. Right? Just see chakra centers as doors, and you will be able to awaken your Kundalini. So this is what I started to do. So the first night I was doing that, but I was also doing, again, a lot of heavy cleaning within myself. At the time, I was working a lot more with the EQ method, or the first version of the EQ method, which is kind of like the complete version of the BCR technique back in the day, 2018. And so I started opening up the doors, started opening up the chakra centers, and through each door I was just starting to clear out all the debris that I could find within each chakra door. And I would wake up at 3 a.m. on the first night. Now, why 3 a.m.? Because that's the peak hour for DMT. That's the peak hour to where DMT is being naturally produced in the brain. So this is what I was doing. And the first night, I was also doing what's known as a chakra dhyana meditation on YouTube. It was very, very powerful. So as I was doing that, I was able to feel the lifting, the awakening of the Kundalini serpent, and I could feel like this warm and cold just flowing through the spine. But unfortunately, it only went up into the solar center, not the solar plexus chakra, but just the solar center, right up to here. Okay, and it stopped, and it could not go any further. And so I paused. I went back to sleep for a little bit. When I woke up in the morning, I said, okay, I'm going to deal with that in the morning. So as I woke up in the morning, I looked into the solar center, and I saw that there was still some old stuff, old emotional relationship conflicts that were still there that I did not notice before. So I went ahead, I did the EQ method, and I started cleaning that out. And now the solar center I felt was very pure, very clear. Dowsing, tuning into it intuitively, was getting that confirmation. So the second night, I woke up again, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then continuing to proceed. So as I continued to proceed, I could feel again the energy stirring up and going up to the heart, up to the throat, going all the way up to the back of the head, and just resting at the top of the crown right here. Okay? And feeling okay. I did it. I did a full awakening. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful, powerful experience. But what I noticed is that it was just Kundalini that was just going up into the area of the Anya, the third eye chakra. But the crown was not awoken, right? And a full Kundalini awakening involves the crown of the head. Now, the crown of the head is not a chakra center. The crown of the head is a center that we refer to as Sahasrara. Okay? It's more of a gateway than it is actually a chakra. Right? A lot of people get confused by that and saying crown chakra, crown chakra, crown chakra. No offense, but they're mistaken. It's not a chakra center. It's a gateway. And so it was actually last Sunday, on Easter Sunday, where I was just stumbling upon a video that was done by Sri Mataji. And she was all about promoting Sahaja Yoga. And so I found her YouTube video about this, because days before I was talking about, I'm going to, or not even days before, I think it goes back weeks, many weeks before actually. Weeks before, I was intending to open up the Sahasrara. I was even talking to my buddy Forrest Knudsen about that too. He was even giving me some techniques as well too. Just say, try this and see if this will help you with opening up the Sahasrara. And I was trying it and it helped a little bit, but it wasn't quite all the way there. So then I stumbled upon this video of Sri Mataji's, and she was basically doing a Sahaja Yoga meditation. And so I was going through the entire process, and I got to the point of the crown, and basically what she would just say for you to take your hand just like this, just the palm of the hand, and you would put it upon the area that we would refer to as the Brahmarandhara, okay? Otherwise known as the life passage. With a newborn baby, it's the soft spot on their skull, okay? And that's what I would do, is I'd put it there, and then there was an affirmation that you would state. And as I did that affirmation, you would just start to rub the life passage, the Brahmarandhara, a total of 7 times. After I did that, I just closed my eyes, and the Sahasrara massively opened. I was like this a lot of the time, like I could not imagine how much power was flowing through the Sahasrara. I was like, it was almost like a fireworks show. It was amazing. I was seeing streams of plasma, streams of light coming out of the crown, and I could feel like I didn't even have the top of my head. I felt like from here to about here, that there was nothing. There was just ether. It was a really wonderful experience, and I could see the 1,000-petal lotus, right? It's almost like you are wearing an etheric crown on your head, right? This is, again, why they call it the crown. It's like you just see the 1,000-petal lotus, right? And you feel this stream of light coming out, and it's like it's just slowly rotating, and you're seeing all these petals, because these petals do actually exist in the brain when you actually go through what they call self-realization, okay? This is the process to moving yourself into self-realization, but this isn't the final process. This is basically just you opening all the gates of the body. Once you open all the gates of the body, now the true spiritual work begins. If we have not even done this, we haven't even really done our true spiritual work yet. Because the true spiritual work is to know that you are God. It is to know that you are pure consciousness. It is to know that you are not the body and that you are not the mind. It is to know that you are that, right? When you are there, now you're actually beginning the spiritual work. If you're not there, you're in preparation. You're going through preparation cycles, right? So even just up until last Sunday, all I was doing was just doing the preparation work, right? And now the Sahasrara opens. And now through the Sahasrara opening, now you are on your pathway. Now you're on your process. Now you're in your spiritual path to realize who you really are, okay? That's the spiritual work. That's the true nature. Other stuff that we're doing, like I said, it's just all preparation work. It's prep work. It's like being in the kitchen. We're just doing prep work. We're getting everything prepared before the big meal, right? Before we have to throw everything into the pan, before we start cooking everything, before we start making this gigantic feast. All we've been doing, and for me, like I said, I know a lot of people, it may take less years or more years, but for me, it's been a 13-plus year journey. And for those 13-plus year journey, all it was prep work. It's prep work to getting you here, because this is what has come to me through realization, right? And the crown chakra, the Sahasrara, again, not the crown chakra, the crown center, I should say. I used to call it the crown chakra, so I'm getting out of that habit. But the crown center, the Sahasrara, when that is open, Spirit is talking to you directly. You are wearing that etheric crown on your head. And that, again, is what was happening to me yesterday. I cannot talk about what Spirit was talking to me about. It's top secret right now, okay? Until I actually go through the full experience, I'll be teaching you guys all about this. But it's a brand new system, okay? Something I have never divulged before. And I'm still going through it myself. And like I said, I will never teach you guys things that I have not personally experienced. So going through this again is just the beginning of the journey as well too, pertaining to realization. Spirit's talking to you all the time. I'm constantly having conversations with God all the time. And so this is really what it is. I said, this is the real work now. This is the real journey. This is where you are actually now moving into the spiritual journey right now. Everything that's been done before is just prep work. And so when you're here and you go into that realization, there's a reason why these centers are in our body, guys. They're there to be awakened. But we cannot awaken it, if we're completely consumed by the body and the mind. We cannot stay there. We cannot go through these centers and awaken them up if we're constantly just living in the modern world, the mortal world, as I would call it. You guys are immortals. You guys are eternal. You guys are infinite. You've heard me talk about this so many times. You are infinite, eternal spirit. You are infinite soul. You are God consciousness. You are pure consciousness. That is your nature. If you're not being that, you're just pretending to be something that you're not. Right? It's all about knowing that you're using this vessel as a medium, as a bridge, as a link to connect with your true spiritual self. That's the real journey. And this, believe it or not, is the very reason every single one of us are here. Every single person is actually here on earth for this very reason, but they don't know it. They've been consumed by too many distractions. They've been going through life. What about my career? What about my finances? What about my big house? What about my family? What about my friends? Blah, 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 blah. And they get consumed by that. And when now you start to realize that you are the fully realized self, you will actually truly see the essence of what family truly means, of what friendship truly means, about the work that you do here on this planet and what that truly means. I can't describe that to you right now. In time, perhaps. But this is something you have to really feel for yourself. Brad, are you saying that we need to go out through a full Kundalini awakening to experience this? No, because there's many different ways to open yourself up, to go into that state of realization. Some people have just done it through continual meditation, and it just basically comes. Everything just opens up to them naturally. Some people, again, are working with prayer, and through prayer, it comes naturally through them as well, too. Some people just follow the breath, and as they continue to follow breath, all of a sudden this starts to happen. Okay? Everybody is different. This is just my own journey from how I'm conveying it all together. But what I've noticed, because I was not opening the Sahasrara well past a week ago, and now that I see that it's opening, the realization has just been majorly intensified. And so, like I said, the more that you are actually seeing yourself, like I said, not even really spiritually practicing, it's so very important to understand your spiritual nature. Okay, it's just as important as breathing. Because some people will do meditation and they'll say, maybe I have to do it for an hour, maybe I have to do it for 2 hours, maybe I have to do it for 6 hours. I have to do 6 hours of meditation. Oh, I don't think I can do that. It's not about time. Okay? You have to understand exactly why you're actually doing meditation. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to be by doing meditation? Do you know what it's actually for? Thoughtless awareness. That's it. You're just doing meditation to helping you understand how to be thoughtless, okay? And meditation does not always have to be sitting in the lotus posture, doing mantras, and again, having to do certain types of breath work. There's places for that. We can do that, and that helps with opening ourselves up. But that's not the idea. You are learning how to be thoughtlessly aware. Just like what I showed you today about through the nature of the power of presence. Okay? You're following your breath. Okay? You are now working together with reinforcement if you again lose yourself from the clouds. So as you're working together with the breath, you're working together with the reminder, you're just being aware of the present moment. And this dissolves the mind away. And it can dissolve it away in the matter of days. The mind now starts to subside because you are constantly giving power to your presence. You're giving power to your breath. You're giving power to your awareness more than you're giving power to your thoughts, more than you're giving power to your emotions, more than you're giving power to your mental traumas. This even goes beyond BCR technique, what I'm teaching you. Okay? BCR technique can help you go a long way, but just by being present, you will see everything just dissolve. Everything will just fade away because you are not in your mind. I have a body, but I am not the body. I have a mind, but I am not the mind. So this is why I suggest you guys work with the power of presence, okay? And work with the power of presence exercise. And like I said, work to do it for a full day. And it's okay. If I get caught up with thoughts, I know how to break out of them. Okay, and I just continue to work with my breath, and I continue to work with the reminder. Conscious breath, conscious reminder, and I have my conscious reinforcement. That's all you need to do. And now you do this for a whole day. And you feel amazing. I literally felt like I was looking at everything in super, ultra high definition when I was in this state of presence all day. It completely turned the world all around for me. And it can for you too, as long as we work to be present. Okay? All right, so that is the topic that I wanted to share with you guys today. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and move into Q&A. So I have my cards on standby in case you guys do have some questions that may relate to the cards. Let's not make personal questions, okay, guys? No personal questions, making sure that your questions are only semi-personal or general in nature, okay? If you have personal questions, that's where a session comes in, all right? So please just semi-personal or general questions altogether, all right? All right, so let me just go up through the list. Actually, first I'll change the window here. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody on live chat. So let me just kind of scroll through the list here. I'm just kind of going at random, guys, and I probably will be going down to the chat here momentarily. This is just a comment here from Vicky. Vicky says, "Hi, Brad. I did this flying back to Italy." I think she's referring to the power of presence exercise. Not continually, but did it very often, and I did feel more present as I was focusing on raising my vibration by saying, "I breathe in love, breathe out love." Vicky, that is perfect. That's it. You were indeed doing that. That's great. So we just want to keep doing that, okay? Guys, it's not a lot of pressure to do this. Okay, that takes no energy out of you whatsoever. It's the bare minimum, okay? Some people, "Brother, can I continue to breathe that long?" You're breathing all the time, right? But rather than being the shallow breather, you're just being aware that you're breathing. That's why we make the noise. We make the noise because we're aware we're breathing, okay? Now, of course, if we're in like a crowded restaurant, or if we're walking down a busy street, yes, then that can be a little bit difficult for you to hear your breath. But just do what you can. Right? It's kind of like you're now feeling the vibrations of the breath rather than trying to hear the sound of it. So if I'm breathing in like that, I can feel the vibration within my nasal sinus, okay? Within the nasal septum, okay? I can feel the vibration when I'm doing the exhale. I can feel it coming out of the nose. I feel the vibration. So if I'm in a very loud surrounding, even if I can't hear my breath, I'm still feeling the vibrations of it, right? Going up through the sinus, going out through the nostrils, I feel that vibration. So if I cannot hear my breath because the environment is too loud, then I'm just going to tune into the vibrations of it. Okay? Maybe I can't even hear my own reminder in my head. Inhale God, exhale God, because there's just so many loud people. Then that's okay. Just focus on the vibration of your breath. And know that as you breathe in, you're inhaling God. As you exhale, breathing out God. Breathing in love, breathing out love. Breathing in light, breathing out light. Breathing in source, breathing out source. Breathing in spirit, breathing out spirit. Great. Continue to do this. It works, guys. So, Vicky, I'm very glad to hear that you were doing that as well. That's awesome. Great work. Keep up the great work. Okay. Yep, Melissa says, "God is in everything. I see, because God is all there is, all that's true." You got it. Right on. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, here's one from Carol Ann Smith. I was wondering, Brad, how much longer will we be having these COVID agendas going on in New York State? Okay, so the state of New York, let's take a look at that. So we'll go through the cards right now and check that out. So the question is, what is the momentum of these COVID agendas taking place in the state of New York, USA? It's just a part of the movies, my friends. Okay, it's just part of the big movie that's taking place. Okay, so this is representing the past. This is showing us moving forward, a new direction, new balancing coming together. Right, everything's already been planned out. Like I said, you're just looking at things that are intended for the normies, the sleepers. Okay, right now there's a lot of work, a lot of rebalancing coming together. Okay, a lot of positive things are actually going to be coming together here very, very shortly. Right, so we're seeing the balancing of the scales. We're seeing charitability. We're seeing things that basically are just getting set up to bust people. Okay, people who have been trying to hold this whole agenda, particularly in New York as well too, are just on the verge of being busted. Okay, so this is kind of the feeling here. It looks like they're about to zero in on quite a few other people who have been sustaining this for quite some time. It's really on its last leg, guys. Did you guys notice that just a few days ago that they ended the mandates for the masks on airlines? Okay, that they're already now starting to end. They're starting to end the COVID mandates, right? So they're now basically nullifying the mask mandates. There's actually quite a few videos of people taking footage on planes where they're actually announcing this, that they're actually eliminating the mandates. Now, is that fully getting rid of COVID? Not yet, but it's definitely a good step in the right direction. And guys, that's happening before the end of April. Very much like what I said would happen. Okay, Joni Petrie was also talking about it through her Vedic astrology. She was feeling around mid-April. There'd be something there. I was looking into this myself through my own intuition. Yep, April was coming up. Okay. Now again, it's not completely gone, but it's thinning itself out. We're trimming away the excess. And so that's still a very, very good sign here. So we're seeing a lot of things change. Like in Canada, in British Columbia here, right? We pretty much, the whole BC vaccine card is gone. Mask mandates are gone as well too. Things are thinning out. It's still here a little bit, but everything in regards to its excess fat is being trimmed away. So it's great to see. I was getting quite a few messages from people saying, Brad, check this out. They mentioned this on the airlines today. Right? So that's great. It's great to hear. So in the background, like I said, justice is being served. We're basically scrutinizing everything. So New York is on the precipice of some great change as well too. And I think this is what's going to be happening to a lot of the corrupt. The corrupt are going to be going away in handcuffs. They're going to be going away in binds. They're going to be going into trials. They're going to be processed, right? Processed, taken away, dealt with, right? So that's kind of what I'm feeling with New York. So it feels like it's on the verge right now of something tremendous about to take place within not just New York, but if there's any other states as well too that are facing that as well, then I feel like there's a verge of a breakthrough about to happen here, particularly as we continue to go through April and we move into May. Okay, so again, things are starting to thin themselves out. COVID's not completely gone, but it is starting to thin, which is a great thing. And that's basically what was being said to me through the cards and through intuition, is that you're going to see great changes taking place before the end of April pertaining to COVID, right? Not completely gone, but certainly thinning away. It's getting thinner and thinner and thinner to the point where it can just be blown away, right? But there's a lot more stuff going on than just COVID, okay? That's a completely different story. The other things that are coming in besides COVID are going to continue to play themselves out for the rest of the year, right? So there's still a lot of things that we have to face. COVID is just one of the things, it's just one of the shackles that are falling off right now. There's a lot more stuff that needs to come to light that may be quite unsettling once it does, right? And we're looking not just at the Russia and Ukraine, but we're looking at financial situations as well too. We're seeing more exposures taking place, right? They're now starting to hit hard on Disney right now. Disney boycotting in that way. So they're basically calling out Disney as well too. So a lot of things are on the rise here. We still have a lot of things to face, particularly as we move throughout 2022 and going into 2023. So there's still a lot more on the table. Like I said, it'll be a little bit unsettling and unpleasant, but nonetheless, all this stuff needs to come out because it's just part of the life movie. Okay? Thank you for your question. Okay, I got a contribution here from Selma. Selma says, please look into Pakistan's current situation. Looks like a war between white hats and black hats. All right, let's take a look at that. Thank you, Selma, for that request. We'll take a look at Pakistan in regards to Pakistan's current situation. I think I'm going to do a different spread for this one. Is there a war going on between the white hats and the black hats, as people commonly refer to them? As I always call them, the counter forces, right? The counter forces and the dark forces, you could say. or cabal, or Khazarian mafia. Any label you want to use is fine. Okay, let's take a look. So what is the current situation right now in Pakistan between the black hats and the white hats? What's taking place there? Okay, let's see here. Oh, you're right about that. Okay, so we're getting, the troops are closing in. So there definitely is some powerful reinforcement taking place in Pakistan right now. To me, it feels like there's a sweeping away. Exactly. Okay, there's about to be a sweeping away of the corrupt. It's exactly what's happening in Pakistan right now. Is there hopes and fears? Well, I think people will be a little bit scared at first about what's happening, right? But it's a whole idea of something that's, it's kind of like a positive and a negative, right? So we're seeing people starting to move away from everything. Some people feel like this whole system is falling apart in Pakistan. There's people that are kind of in a mix between fear and between being hopeful, right? They know that this has to happen, but basically we're now starting to withdraw ourselves from the old regime. So the old regime is falling apart, and I think some people are furious about that, and some people are hopeful about that. So it's kind of a mixed bag there. The present moment, okay, well, this is good. Again, we're seeing fruitful change. We're seeing the complete and total power, not only of the counterforces, but of the people who know that this wants to end. They're all working together. So we're seeing fruitful change. We're seeing the fruits of our labor coming to work. Okay, the situation of the present moment is this. This is going to lead into something very, very powerful. But like I said, people get afraid because a lot of people are afraid of change. Okay, that's exactly what this is all about. We're seeing the idea of victory coming together. We're seeing great abundance relating to the counterforces that are sweeping them out. Okay, this is the secret, the behind the scenes pertaining to the current moment, the present moment, I should say. So we're seeing again unification. We're seeing people coming together. We're seeing people rallying. We're seeing people uniting. Okay, just as we've seen throughout the world. So we're going to see in that sense even a lot of revealings of secrets that I think are going to be taking place here very, very soon. Okay. So this is representing the idea of the near future pertaining to the corrupt. Okay, they're going to be expunged. Okay, and they are going to have all of their plans foiled. So we're looking at the idea of the complete and total defeat of the corrupt cabal in Pakistan between now and the next 3 months. Okay, that's really what I'm getting there from that reading. Okay, so what about the advice? Let go of what is happening right now, pertaining to the counter forces and the dark forces with all the cleanup that's happening behind the scenes. It has to play itself out. It's just like how the white blood cells are attacking a virus, right? Remember what you can do yourself. Work with your soul tribe. Be together. Come together. Band together. Work together. That's the most important thing that can be done for the people of Pakistan at this time. Okay? So there's a total cleanup that's taking place. A lot of infiltration happening behind the scenes. It's just amazing to see this. Like, again, this is not anything new to me, guys. This is a very common reading that I find through many different countries that I've read throughout the past several months. Okay, that there's a cleaning time taking place right now. Like I said, things are just continuing to play themselves out on MSM because that's the life movie, right? Making it look like things are pretty drastic, but in fact they are not quite drastic at all. They are moving into a great changeability. They're moving into a great powerful shift. We're moving upwards. We're not moving downwards. Okay, so the people of Pakistan again are going to see transitional government coming together, taking place. All right. Thank you, Sama, for your question, and thank you for your contribution, too. Okay. So I'm going to go down the list here a bit more. Sarah has an interesting question here. This is kind of like a question towards me. Does it worry or scare you when Spirit communicates with you? None. No. And it's never been like that. Even when I was back in the day channeling with Adronis, right? It's because Adronis is a very powerful energy. The entity that I used to channel as Adronis, he was a very powerful energy. He was very strong. And some people have felt his energy firsthand. So he's a really strong energy, Brad. Like, you're not intimidated, but no, of course not, right? Why would I be intimidated by something that represents pure love and my heart space and my center, right? And spirit, of course, we can't even put it on a scale. Spirit is permanence. There has never been fear, right? Spirit is not the idea of a malicious or aggressive energy of that nature of any kind. It's us. We have to understand, like, I never ever accepted the idea that here I am as Brad and over here is another being as spirit. I've never accepted that, right? So why would I be scared of something that is me? Why would I be scared of whether it was Adronis, right? Or again, even going beyond that, spirit. Because I am spirit. I am God consciousness. I am pure consciousness. Why would I be afraid of that, right? It's kind of like what they talk about in the Bible about God. You know, you'll feel the wrath of God. You'll feel the punishment of God. You'll feel the curse of God. Like, what God are you guys talking about? That's not the God I know. There's nothing in regards to the idea of a God facing wrath or committing punishment or a curse of God or anything of that nature. That's just, again, their language in the past because they really couldn't understand how to articulate karma. Okay? When they're talking about the wrath of God or the punishment of God or anything like that, it's karma. That's all they're talking about. But that's how they phrased it. They said, well, this is the wrath of God. It's their own karma. It's their own karma coming back upon them because they've imposed it upon themselves. Yes. But this has nothing to do with the idea of, you know, if I don't say something right to God, then God's going to smite me and blink me out of existence. No. Because that's just man's perception of God. And that is wrong. That is incorrect. Again, there have been holy wars fought because of people thinking that their God was better than another person's God. Or that you're not in this religion, so you should die. Okay? That's the idiocy of man. That's the stupidness of man. But these people who have done it, they had very, very strong willpower. But because they went so far out of balance, that's what basically consumed them. With that willpower, if you use it into the idea of the right way, you are going to be a very powerful figure for the world, right? Just like we have powerful leaders and powerful people of example, right? But they completely skew themselves. They go off in a different direction, and they go into extremes. But no, when I am communicating with spirit, I am spirit. I'm communicating with myself. I'm communicating with the totality of me. It's a beautiful thing. I have never once felt fear about it. Not one bit. So like I said, guys, right, some people are very concerned about following the work that I teach them, saying, well, Brad, I think if I lose myself and all stuff. Guys, I've been doing all this work. Have you seen me lose myself? Have you seen myself feel, or I'm not too much human anymore, or I don't have my work anymore, or I'm not doing these webcasts in front of you? Do you see that? No. So why do you think that would happen to you? Okay? I'm still very much aware of my human life. I'm still very much aware of the memories that I hold. Okay, that hasn't gone anywhere. But they are not popping up anymore. Right? If I need to really search for them, the memory will come up. But I'm not living as those memories. I'm not living as my past. I'm not living through the fear of hypothetical future. I've outgrown that. Right? You are maturing past that. And this is what people fear the most. Brad, I feel if I do this path, I'm going to lose myself. I'm going to lose my identity. In a way, you are not going to identify with identity, but you will still very much be aware of everything that you've done. Okay? I haven't forgot it. I have not forgotten my entire journey. I have not forgotten my journey from before this time happened, before I was spiritually awakened. I haven't forgotten any of it, guys. So if it doesn't happen to me, why do you think it's going to happen to you? No, my friends, you are liberating yourself. You are completely unfolding yourself. You're cracking an eggshell, and you're now coming out of that eggshell, and you're seeing yourself open to a world that is so beautiful, we just can't put it into words. Spirit has never been the idea of a bully, an aggressor. Why would I need to fear what I am? I am spirit. And that is what you guys will realize too when you follow this work. I am spirit. I am consciousness. There is no me and spirit. It's just me. As Jesus would say, the Father and I are one. It's exactly how this is, guys. It's these old religious fears. It's these old opinion religions about thinking if you follow this path, you're going to lose yourself. No. You're gonna basically outgrow your identity. You are going to outgrow your pain. You are going to outgrow your suffering because you've made peace with it. You are going to outgrow identity. You're not just going to have your fingers snapped and all of a sudden you won't remember anything, because that's never been my experience. Right? And I'm going all the way up to Saraswata here, guys. Right? It really comes down to the idea that we all are the divine. We all are spirit consciousness. We all are totality. We all are the absolute. And that truly, when we look at ourselves, we are all equals to each other. Some of us may have greater or lesser realization to each other. But that's the only difference, right? It's like a person that is an experienced carpenter for 40 years, right? And then there's this young chippy fellow who wants to be a carpenter as well too and think that they're a know-it-all. And now they have this veteran carpenter trying to teach them everything, right? Doesn't mean that that chippy young student of a carpenter is inferior in any way, just that he doesn't have the realization that what this master carpenter has. It's the same thing. When we're looking at the idea of spiritual growth, there are people who have been doing this for years and they've come into this realization. And there are those who are just getting started, or maybe they've been struggling for quite some time because they've been following erroneous teachings. And now they want to get into it. Both of those, when we're looking at those two entities, they're both equal in the idea as an entity. But it's the realization that's different. Okay, that's all it is. You are not going to lose your mind. You are not going to lose yourself. You're not going to blank out your memory. You're not going to cease to exist, because none of that has ever happened to me. And I have spent, since day number 1, doing this work, recording everything. This is why my video series here, my videos go all the way back to 2011, guys. Right? There was actually another video channel that was before that, but I retired that one. But this one has been really documenting my journey for the past 11 years. About everything I've shared with you guys. And you can go back, and I don't know if you have the time, but you can watch all the videos to see how I've got up to here. There have been people who have been following me for years, who have seen, Brad, I've seen you grow. I've seen you transform. I've seen you shift. I said, that's my goal. I want to continue to outdo everything that I'm doing. Even right now, what I'm doing right now, I'm going to outdo that too. I'm always changing. And that's really the whole progress, is I want to continue to go higher and higher and higher every single time. So like I said, I certainly have not had any harsh, fearful, regressive, hostile experiences when it came to spirit. No, I've had nothing but love. Spirit shares the truth to me. And that's what I love. Because, again, I am spirit, you are spirit. All right? But thank you, Sarah, for that question. All right. Okay. Okay, here's one here from Dante. Dante says, how can we change our natal chart tendencies so we're not affected by them? Well, you don't really change your natal chart tendencies. You have to understand, when you're looking at your natal chart, when you're looking at your astrology, that's like a snapshot. It's like a snapshot of how you came into the world. Now, I've followed more so Vedic astrology, because I find Vedic astrology to be more accurate. Okay, so that's nothing against anybody who's a Western astrologer. If you want to do Western astrology, that's fine, right? But I've researched Western astrology, and I've researched Vedic astrology, and I just find Vedic astrology to be more accurate. Okay, but basically, regardless of whatever astrology system you're using, it's just giving you a snapshot of you coming into this world, but it's just a snapshot of what's happening within yourself. So you're not looking to change tendencies, you're looking to harmonize them, okay? We want to bring peace to our tendencies, right? If I feel like I'm in a wild mood and I get set off and I get triggered by everything in that sense, I'm not trying to change the tendency that's causing me to do that. I'm just looking into everything that represents that pattern that needs to be harmonized. I want to harmonize the pattern, okay? So if I'm basically seeing that I'm a snappy Taurus energy, right? And I'm very, very logical, and I'm not too emotional, and I feel like I get pig-headed at times or bull-headed at times in that sense. That's okay. That tendency is all right, because it serves what I'm here to do, okay? I can just share on a Vedic astrology level, guys, that I'm a Capricorn moon and I'm a Virgo ascendant, okay? That's both earth, okay? I'm very earthy, okay? I'm not too emotional, right? There's times there where I have been emotional because I've had to cry out a lot of the stuff of old pain in the past. And that took a lot. It's not easy to make me cry. But these are things that I needed to go through. I had to realize that I had these tendencies. In the old days, I was like, can I change these tendencies? Can I change my astrological profile? Can I try and get these tendencies? Where are you going to change them to? You can't change them. That's all part of your blueprint. That's the blueprint that represents this mind matrix in that way. So what you are doing is you're learning to live beyond the mind. So this is, again, like what I talked about, is when you're working with something through the example of BCR technique or cord removal healing or conflict elimination or just what I taught you guys today, power of presence exercise. Okay? And you're just settling everything. Okay? The blueprint is still there. Okay? The pattern is still there, but it's not fired up. You're basically just snuffing out the burners here. Right? You're snuffing out the candles. You're basically just turning off that switch and that fire is being retracted. And so we're not firing up these patterns. We're not putting them into overage. We're keeping them in the green. And the way to do that is looking into the exercises like I just mentioned. Okay? You're working with the present moment. You're learning to be a lot more centered and present here in the moment. You're not blowing up at things. If we're blowing up at things, guys, we're in the mind. Right? There's times where I've blown up. Okay, you guys have seen it, where I've blown up at times. That's me being in the mind, and I admit that. There's times where I get in the mind, and now the burners are firing up. It's like, what? What did that guy say to me? What did that guy say to me? Okay, and that's true. That's me being in the mind, right? Even though I've, can go out of the mind, and then there's times where I go into the mind. And so, what? How dare that person say that? Blah, 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 right? We get all fired up. But with this work of just being present, with the work of BCR, with the work of cord removal healing, heck, guys, even if you're even working with the healing code cards, okay? These will work great for you too as well. They're a great support. They're an addition to healing altogether, all right? It's okay if you feel you have to blow up, right? If you feel like that has to be expressed, it happens spontaneously. Don't regret it. It's just something that needed to happen, and now you catch it, and now you work on it. And this is what I've always done. Even there's times where I've blown up, I catch it, and I start working on it. So, okay, let's just settle down the flames here. Okay, let's snuff them out. We'll keep the pattern there, but the pattern is at rest, right? So your tendencies within your natal chart are always going to be there for as long as you live, okay? So Dante, that's something you have to accept, okay? We're not trying to change the map. This is your map that you've given, right? Astrology is just showing you an outer map that is your inner map within you, okay? That's really what it is. When we look at something, for example, Swara Yoga, what's great about Swara Yoga is it's actually your inner map. You're actually looking at your inner astrology when you're working with Swara Yoga. When you're going into Vedic astrology or Western astrology, you're just seeing the physical manifestation of that map through the alignments of planets. Okay? So all it's doing is it's just showing you your soul blueprint externally. It's the macrocosmic soul map. And then when we go into something like Swara Yoga, it's the microcosmic soul map. That's the idea of something that's inside, right? Because with Swara Yoga, you're able to work with your breath. You're able to know the elements in regards to how you breathe. This is what I'm learning as well too. You're able to change the Swara and being able to understand the entire system. It's a pretty complex system, Swara Yoga. This is why I'm going to look to go to India in October and see if I can get more trained in Swara Yoga, because I find it very fascinating. It's a very beautiful yoga. But nonetheless, this is just our map. You cannot change your map. Okay? Your map is the map that you have for as long as you're in this body, for as long as you're in this life. That is your mind matrix. That is your imprint. Okay? It's like your QR code for yourself while you're in this life. You can't change the QR code. Okay? So what you can do is you can settle things. You can resolve things. You can harmonize your map. Okay? That's all we're doing, is we're just learning to keep everything in the green. Oh, Brad, instead of a Taurus, I want to be a Leo. Well, you're not. You have to accept that. Okay? Like I said, we cannot change what has been destined for us to have. Okay? Going back at if you're looking at yourself as a 5-year-old and you had a school fight with a bully, boy, wouldn't we love to change that. You can't. Okay? You have to come to terms that that event has taken place. But rather than constantly living in the past about it, you are learning to be at peace with it and saying, this is what happened. But look where I am right now. Here I am as a 35-year-old man, and I've done pretty well, even though I had that 5-year-old school bully fight in the yard. Okay? None of us want to go through that, of course. But if we continue to fuel that, then we're living in the past. And that's what's skewing us. That's what's creating all the thoughts and all the harsh emotions, because we keep tapping into that source and we skew everything. It's like taking a crayon and you're just scribbling all over your life because you're constantly pointing back to that state of the past. So we have to make peace with it. Even though that this happened, I'm able to find it within my heart to forgive it. Because that's what we do in BCR technique, guys. We lift our energy higher up, and now we're able to forgive the emotional, mental patterns that we have. We soften them. And now we put them back into the green. So now they're in the green, and now they're in harmony. Even though I had that experience, it no longer affects me. No longer affects who I am right now. So you cannot change what you have been dealt, but you can certainly harmonize with it. Okay? That's what we're here to do. Thank you, Dante, for your question. It's a very good one, too, by the way. Thank you for that. Okay. Angie says here, there are brainwashed people all over Canada. When I go to the store, I can count on one hand who is not wearing a mask. It is horrible to see so many brainwashed people. Trudeau must love these people. Well, again, you're taking that situation and you're blowing it completely out of proportion through yourself. You're angry because you see so many people brainwashed. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to continue to attract more brainwashed people in your life. Okay? Guys, I have met people here in British Columbia who aren't brainwashed, right? Who certainly have been, but they've been working upon themselves. They've been opening themselves a lot more. Well, Brad, how the heck did you do that? Because I do not discriminate with what a person is doing. I see a person wearing a mask, big deal. Right? I see a person in that sense who's concerned about mask mandates and they're chatting about it like a storm, big deal. Who cares? Don't care. Okay? And I see people who are chatting and they're moving into freedom. They're understanding a lot more of their nature. They're evolving themselves spiritually. Very good. I'll let them do it. Okay? That's the idea, because as soon as you start attaching to those things, you're going to start manifesting brainwashed people everywhere, because you're so concerned and you're triggered about people being brainwashed. Okay? That is your own mind ricocheting and relaying back all of these tendencies that you are doing to yourself. It's not about Trudeau. It's not about Castro Jr. Okay? He's not your responsibility. It's not about the idea of what the government is doing. Not your responsibility. You can certainly stand up and protest if you want. That's fine. But the whole idea is that this is all part and parcel about how you feel inside. Right? Here's one of the biggest challenges I can give you guys right now. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to envision someone who you think you actually really despise. Okay? I want you just to look at that person right now. I don't care if it's Trudeau. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Putin or whoever it is, right? Or someone in your family, an old bully, whatever it is. Okay? Just envision them in your mind right now. Okay? And all I want you to do is I want you just to be aware of the emotion that comes up when you see them. You're feeling that reaction. You're feeling that trigger. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to forgive that emotional trigger. I want you to forgive that mental trigger that is telling you, I hate this person. I despise this person. Because we're not even really focusing on the person. We're focusing on the pattern. We're focusing on the trigger. Because I could tell you, oh, go ahead and forgive him. No, because then you're just going to find somebody else to hate. And that's not the idea. When we're going into forgiveness, we want to forgive the pattern. We want to forgive the suffering that we have put ourselves through. We want to forgive the emotional, mental trauma. We want to forgive the regret. And when you forgive that, everything goes back into the green. Granted, I'm not too fond of what Trudeau's doing or anything of that nature, but there's no animosity there. He's not even a factor in my life. Everything's gone into the green. And it's the same thing with anybody in your life, or even an event in your life. You see an event that you felt was horrifying. Okay, freeze frame it. I want you to see what that event is doing to you. What is it doing? It's pulling out a trigger. You're getting emotional. You're getting mentally disturbed. Now I want you just to hold that. And now I want you to tell yourself, I can forgive this. I can forgive it. Because I raise my love, I raise my happiness, I raise my joy, I raise my strength to ensure that my forgiveness outweighs the conflict. And that's what you learn in BCR. You are taking all of that love energy, you are taking everything that is divine and beautiful and pure, and you're putting it to work. And now you do not have that fear. You do not have that animosity. You do not have that hatred and saying, I was making this person a devil. I was making this person demonic. I was making this person an aggressor. I was making this person a bully. Because I was the victim. I'm the victim here. Trudeau's doing all these things to me. I'm the victim. Woe is me. Biden's doing this thing to me. Woe is me. You're painting the picture, showing them as your personal demons. They're your personal demons. They're no more different than an emotion that you are willing to clear away. Because that's all they are. The outside world is just an appearance about how you are feeling about yourself within. Once you understand that, you are not going to suffer. You are going to clear that away. It'll go completely into the green, and before you know it, you're now starting to see people who are actually awake. You're going to see people who are open, who are now starting to see themselves wake up. And now you're going to find your soul tribe. The only reason why you attract brainwashed people is because the brainwashed people offend you so much, and you're disturbed by them. And that is an emotional explosion. Here's subtle energy, guys. Here's emotion. 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 Here's subtle energy. Emotion. Subtle energy. So when I have that huge spike of emotion, that's going to bring a complete drawing of an immense amount of attraction to me, representing brainwashed people. Because I spike. And if I spike, there's going to be that tidal wave of people that I know I don't want to see, but because they offend the living hell out of me, I'm going to find them in my reality. It's a spike. So we're turning that spike into subtlety. Now when everything is subtle and peaceful, you don't have that spike of people in your life. You've calmed the waters. You've made peace. And now you've healed that trigger. You've healed that trauma. You're not offended anymore because that is the insecure mind program. And you've cured the mind program. You're no longer in trance-induced hypnosis. You're free. That's the idea, guys. That's what the media does. Even if you're looking at the alternative streams of saying, come on, there's this person, this guy's being a bully to us, and we should hate this person, and blah, blah, blah. It's no better than the MSM. It's just another type of brainwash. Right? So it's up to you. You just have to look at this and see what this emotional spike is doing to you. About the people that you hate, about the events that you despise, about the situations that are so intense and harsh. You're making all those things what they are. Because as soon as you label something, bam, there's the emotional spike. And now you're going to bring more of it into your reality. It's going to be like an entourage coming into you. Please keep that in mind, okay? This is why the BCR technique is free. This is why the exercise I told you today about the power of presence is free. It's given to you guys, okay? And there will be a free video to come together with that, okay, guys? That's not just for the person that was, for Angie, right? It's for everybody. So Angie, this is why I'm glad you asked that question, because this is something a lot of people are dealing with, Okay? It's not just you. Okay? I know. I've heard of this before. And this is why I want to share it with you, because a lot of people are feeling this way. You're not alone. And I'm just telling you guys how we dissolve that so that you're not in that. And so now when a lot of people are stable-minded, you're going to see a lot more advancement taking place towards a peaceful life because there's stability rather than the idea of rapid-fire anger. That's just like that crayon and just skewing everything all over your reality. Emotions are unstable. They're an unstable energy. And then when they are unleashed, they have no form of control with themselves. You will bash everybody to bits, even your loved ones. Let me paint a picture for you guys. When you ever felt that you were so incredibly angry that maybe your loving partner came in the room and saying, "Oh, hey, honey, how you are?" Shut up! I'm like, whoa, well, what did I do? And right, that's what happens. That emotion gets so out of control, you lash out on your loved ones. That's what emotion does, guys. It's unstable. It's unpredictable, and it's unstable, and it's violent. Right? You could have your little child come up to you, "Mommy, play with it." "Go away!" Okay? And you're lashing out at them when they haven't done anything. That's what beloved little emotions do, guys. Okay? It's a tidal wave of instability. It is wild, it is uncontrollable, it is violent, it is vicious, and you can attack people with it that you're not expecting to. It is completely unstable and unpredictable. You cannot live your life in high emotions. You're going to destroy everything. Okay? You're going to ruin relationships. You're going to burn bridges. And you think, well, emotions are going to give resolve. No. They are not going to give resolve. You might as well just be pulling out a gigantic weapon and just shooting it out at random. Because people that are in that state are temporarily insane. They can't control it. They're just, it's like a flamethrower, right? And here you go, accidentally setting everything on fire. Setting your loved ones on fire with that emotional intensity. That is not how you resolve things in your life. That's how you create chaos. You have to settle the waters down. Nothing good comes out of super heightened emotional states where you just want to eradicate everything. I hate this person so much. How could they do this to me? Oh, I'm so mad. Hi, Mommy. Shut up! Okay? That's what it does. So this is what we're learning how to do, is keep ourselves settled. Just like I was talking about with the astrological question. Keeping everything in the green. Be calm. Because when you're calm, you see everything. When your emotions run wild, this is your reality. You're seeing reality through a keyhole, everything that represents the emotion. That's not going to work. It's going to be unstable. It's going to be unpredictable. It's going to be vicious. It's like an emotional bomb going off. No one wants to be around you because they're scared to death of you. Right? And you're lashing out on your family, your loved ones. Now they have been traumatized because of you getting so deeply into your emotions. That's what you've done. Please think about this. Emotions are not going to make the world better. They're going to make your world worse. Calm it down. Go into the green. When we go into the green, just like we're in the present moment, we now experience everything. That's the resolve. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're out of time for today. We're going to wrap up. We've gone a little bit over time. Thank you, everybody, for your great questions, your great requests today, for being part of the meditation, the earth meditation as well, too. Again, keep practicing the power of presence. Like I said, I will be doing a video on that here in the next little while as well, too. Remember, you're in the green, okay? The green is what's going to bring yourself into great expansion. And that's really what's going to see, through many of us, through our own eyes, a much better world when we are calm, clear, and centered. And most importantly, present. Thank you, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you again. I'll be back next Thursday with New Earth Insights as well, too, and next Friday as well, too, with New Earth TV Live. All right? You take care of yourself, guys. Be well, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.